Welcome to Shorts Beyond Measure, where fashion, interiors, and psychology get the stylish, savvy, and slightly therapeutic touch.
We're Tara West, Caroline Baltz, and Allison Goldberg, a fashion stylist and 2 interior designers who are also trained as psychotherapists.
So let's get into what's trending, what's tired, and what's actually worth your time. Because good style and good decisions should never be short-lived.
Good morning, ladies.
Happy Monday.
Good morning.
I know we're talking about catastrophizing today.
Another layer to cognitive behavioral therapy, which is a topic we've talked about in the past. Going just a little bit deeper, cognitive behavioral therapy believes that under the auspices of that, your thoughts lead to feelings, lead to behaviors. And it's hard to change the behavior. It's really hard to change a feeling, but you can change your thoughts. So what they do is they list different ways that we think that are not productive. And those fall under what are called cognitive distortions. And there are many of them, and there's overlap among them and stuff. But one of them that I think many of us do, and Kevin certainly was doing, is called catastrophizing, where we create a scenario in our heads that we think everything is like really, really bad and really awful and there's a threat and blah, blah. And it's like, whoa, slow it down.
So where does catastrophizing come from? Do you think it's from trauma, past experiences?
Are you asking me or Caroline?
I mean, whoever wants to answer this inquisitive
Well, I know for
question.
me, everything was always a catastrophe.
Right.
And I mean, I also grew up in a Jewish family, which means like everything is a big deal until it's not a big deal, right? And on top of it, I grew up with some pretty crazy people. So it was always like that. So I lived my life for so long on high alert until I made a decision not to live like that. But I think it's really hard. It causes a lot of stress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's an important distinction there, I think, which is there are real catastrophes. Of
course.
Right? Like in your life with your mother who is an alcoholic, drug addict, like there's real catastrophes. When you wake up and there's Hare Krishnas in your living room, right? Like maybe it's not a catastrophe, but it's not certainly in the guardrails of normal. So I think cognitive distortions, the important word there is distorted. Like where are we distorting reality? And sometimes that comes from our lived experiences, I think.
I agree.
Why are you guys looking at me?
And I think too, in this situation, obviously it tapped into something and fear, but I always, growing up, I never knew what catastrophe was going to happen. I mean, I'd never mentioned this before, but I found my mom when she tried to take her life, and I was in the 3rd grade. Oh my God. That was like something I can never explain what that does to you but it did affect me as a therapist because there was so many alarms in my life. Alarm. That at one time I had this client when I was in training, and she was really in a situation, but to me it was alarm, right? Mm-hmm. And so I didn't take it as seriously. My supervisor called me and she said, "Why didn't you take this seriously?" And I said, that is so my own issue. I just realized it because I've been put through so many alarms that I didn't believe that it was real.
Yeah, that's powerful. I wonder, how does it play out in the work that we do, though, too? I'm trying to think. We had a wallpaper catastrophe, which is so much more fun.
No, I like it. It's lighter. Well, listen, I've had shoe catastrophes. It's okay.
Well, can I just say that one of the things that really annoys me about interior design is there are not consistent increments of ordering wallpaper.
Oh, yes. We definitely had a catastrophe around this, but we handled it well. But yeah, it's a huge issue. So wallpaper sold in rolls or by the yard, and it's also sold in panels. And there's no continuity across anything.
Oh, so it just depends on what it is.
So it's from London, it could be yards, it could be meters, it could be, it's a metric system, and it's so wonky. So it's like a double roll isn't necessarily a double roll in all the different manufacturers.
How long does it take if you're going to order wallpaper? Does it take a long time? Does it matter?
If it's in stock, you can get it in 3 days. As long as it's in stock.
So is the catastrophe wallpaper catastrophe? I'm not laughing about it, but it is funny because we were coming up. My stories are always so extreme, so let's keep it light. But coming off of that, so what was the catastrophe then? Did somebody want it, or you ordered it wrong, or what happened?
So actually, there's two stories in my head. One of them was it was a panel situation where they match up and it creates like this beautiful, almost artistic scene. And we told the client, oh yeah, well the guy came and measured that hangs our wallpaper, and he was like, oh well, you're going to need 12 panels, and we're like, you're going to need 12 panels, so that came to X. Well, turns out when the 12 panels arrived, it was that you needed 12 sets of the 4 panels. So we went from X to like 5X.
Yeah.
In the cost.
It was a little bit intense.
How did the client react?
So luckily, she's one of our favorite clients, and she's great. I think she was definitely like a little taken aback, but we told her, we'd work on the price or, figure it out with her. But it probably took her 7 minutes to be like, oh, well, let's do it. My husband's going to kill me.
But the catastrophe ended up being amazing because she is so happy right now. Had we told her it was going to be 4X originally, she would have been like, no friggin' way am I doing that.
Right.
Like, I can't
So
afford that.
basically, you scammed her, Caroline.
Yeah, so that's the new way to handle it.
Yes, yep. Just, obfuscate the truth.
And what was the other one?
So the other one was we wanted a woman to do wallpaper on her ceiling. That was going to be amazing. And she was like, I can't afford it. So we were like, okay, there's so many moving parts in design, right? Like so many layers, they all fit together. Now, if you're going to pull back from the wallpaper, we've already ordered the couch. We already know which direction we're going with the Roman shades. Like, no, you have to do this wallpaper. So we sat together and we're like, okay, how are we going to handle this? Like, this is a potential catastrophe, but let's not make it one. So we were like, okay, we haven't ordered the carpet yet. Let's scale back on the price of the carpet so that the overall budget of the room still works for her. And now she's in love with the wallpaper.
Yeah.
she's
like, I want to put it
happy.
everywhere.
But I would say knowing where to push our clients is probably like a parallel that we have.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like, no, you need that Balenciaga bag. You have to, right? Like,
Well, sometimes it's like, if it's a major event like a bar mitzvah or a wedding. I was just with somebody I was dressing her for her daughter's wedding, and she was like hemming and hawing, yet the dress looked amazing. And I said, this is it. Like, this happens once in a lifetime, and you don't want to look back at the pictures 10, 15 years from now and be disappointed in yourself.
Yes.
And that's just truth, because we've all been in that situation where we look back and we're like, why did I wear that? But you don't want to think that in a wedding photo.
I'm going to think that like when I look back on this video of these sleeves.
Your sleeves have a lot of volume.
I know. Oh,
I love them.
I like them too. So catastrophizing, I think teenagers can do that a lot,
Absolutely.
And I think one of the things I just traveled, like I said, with my kids, and I said to my friend, I don't know if I spend enough time with my kids because, man, they are a pain in the
vacations are hard.
Vacations
They're really
are
hard.
hard.
and 2 teenagers. But anyways, a lot can be catastrophized. So you got to bring them down. You got to talk some sense into them. You got to make them see like it's not everything is a big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
And look at the facts, do your reality checking, because that can help understand, like, is it am I distorting reality, or is this like actually really something that's threatening?
And the other thing is this too shall pass. I really do believe that everything is for a moment. And so you really need to think about like, how am I going to, I always say when there's a situation, your reaction becomes the problem in the way that if you react.
Well, the problem or the solution.
Or the solution. But if you react in a way that is not a way that you wanted to or can create more problem, the actual problem isn't the problem anymore. It's your reaction.
Right. There was something, on like those Instagram memes that was like, your negative feelings, I guess, only last for like 90 seconds. And the rest, if you're like still feeling that way, that's a choice. Like you are feeding those feelings.
Dave, how are you feeling about this topic?
Dave, what are we talking about?
This is the least catastrophic of all the episodes you've ever done. How's that?
Okay.
Well, I think that's it. Do you
Yeah.
guys have anything else to add?
No, but you have a lot of missed calls, so we should end it.
I'm a busy woman. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
That's it for this week's shortlist. Thanks for listening.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, share it, leave a review, or let us know what's on your short list.
Shorts beyond measure, because the most important things in life can't be quantified.